Ramadan.
Well, we are starting off this afternoon at 9 minutes past 4 p.m. and taking a look at what has happened in Masjid al-Aqsa. It is the month of Ramadan. It is the holy, it is the glorious month of Ramadan. And once again, the brutality of this Zionist occupation knows actually no bounds, it has no mercy, and we've seen violent attacks against Palestinian worshippers at Masjid al-Aqsa, and this seems to be happening year in, year out. Ramadan comes, and every Ramadan, without fail, this brutal Zionist entity, without any shame, I would say totally shameless, doing this type of thing in the month of Ramadan. And we are now going across to be joined to get an update on what has happened and what is still taking place by Sister Abeer Zayyad, who is based in Al-Quds and an archaeologist. Sister Abeer, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Jazakallah khairan so much for your time and welcome.
Walaikum assalam. Jazakumullah khairan for your interesting in Al-Aqsa Mosque and your all time asking about what is happening, keeping stating about what is happening in Jerusalem.
Yes, and it is the month of Ramadan, the holy month of Ramadan. And once again, Sister Abeer, we've seen all these disturbing images. We've seen video clips coming through, and the violence that the Israeli forces once again perpetrating against the worshippers in the Al-Aqsa Masjid.
Yes, in fact, all the time, Israel in the Jewish holiday, they try to attack Al-Aqsa Mosque and they try to make changes in the situation of Al-Aqsa Mosque. So this time have the Easter, the Pesach they call it, holiday, and they want to attack the Al-Aqsa Mosque and they want to make sacrificing inside the Al-Aqsa Mosque, which is not accepted for us. Which is these religion Jewish stuff inside the Al-Aqsa Mosque, Israeli army decides to kick the mu'takifin, the prayers from Al-Aqsa Mosque since yesterday. So they start attacking the people and they arrested around 500 person, and a lot of people also was injured. Also the clinic that we use it for Al-Aqsa, they destroy it. They completely destroy the equipment. They destroy the stuff inside it. So in this way, we will not be able to help anyone who are injured or anything happen for him inside the mosque. Also, they destroyed part from the mosaic building with the weapons that they use it. Of course, they kick the people out from the mosque until morning. Also, they did not allow for anyone to enter to Al-Aqsa Mosque. They allowed only for men who are more than 40 to enter to pray inside the mosque. So the mosque is empty in Ramadan, and they allowed for settlers to enter and to make prayers inside the mosque, which is, of course, this is make people very mad and very sad for what is happening. Of course, youth and men are in the entrance of the gate of Al-Aqsa Mosque trying to enter till now from Al-Fajr, and they did not have succeed yet.
Yes, and also, Sister Abeer, it is happening at the time when there are many people coming through from all over the world coming to Al-Aqsa for Ramadan, for the itikaf, and just to spend Ramadan in Masjid al-Aqsa. And what is the situation as far as the foreigners are concerned that are coming to Al-Aqsa?
It's allowed for them to enter, not as a Palestinian, but Muslim tourists is allowed for them to enter and to pray inside. So no one needs to worry about his coming. They can come and they are safe and they will enjoy the mosque, inshallah. But we as a Palestinian, they are the one who are abandoning from entering to Al-Aqsa Mosque.
Yes. Now, this is a major concern, Sister Abeer, that and I mentioned this in my introduction, where every Ramadan, without fail, this Zionist occupation finds some excuse to attack the worshippers and to come in and desecrate Masjid al-Aqsa together with the settlers. And this was expected because we know they want to provoke the Palestinians, and particularly in the month of Ramadan, where they show absolutely no respect whatsoever, Sister Abeer.
It's the thing that they want to make Ramadan like it's a month of problems, and Ramadan is not a month of problems. They want to control Al-Aqsa Mosque. They do not like the number of the Muslims who are filling Al-Aqsa Mosque the whole Ramadan. They want to make it like if it's empty from Muslims, that Muslims are not scared. So this is why they are attacking.
Well, and this is the reason why the Palestinians are encouraging people to come from all over the world in their thousands to come and occupy Masjid al-Aqsa.
As much as we have Muslims are in the mosque, as much as the mosque is protected and as much as the mosque is safe. So we are encouraging all Muslims all over the world to come and to be part from the praying in the Al-Aqsa Mosque. And as you see, foreigners are allowed to enter, we are not allowed. So it's very important they're coming to fill up the mosque.
Well, inshallah, they will come, and I personally know quite a few people who are going to be making their way from tomorrow, already coming through from South Africa, inshallah. So we pray that they will come and provide solidarity. They will provide support to the people of Palestine.
And me, myself, and Al-Aqsa Mosque, I'm there for serving them. So anything they need, I'm there, inshallah.
Inshallah, we certainly will tell them to get in touch with you, Sister Abeer. Jazakallah so much, and we wish you well, inshallah, during the rest of the month of Ramadan. And we request your du'as, and our du'as are with you and with the people of Palestine, inshallah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. That was Abeer Zayyad. What's us this afternoon, and that brings us on to 16 minutes past 4. We are going to be also staying with the Al-Aqsa developments, and we will be talking very shortly with Advocate Shamima Adoli, who is she is a spokesperson for the Al-Jamaa party as well, and she's obviously made a few comments with regard to the attacks that have taken place. So we will get her comments as well. And the Al-Jamaa party had a picket outside the Jewish Museum in Cape Town today.
Do you want to make a real impact this Ramadan? Donate your zakah to Ashraful Aid. Your zakah can help feed an orphan, support a widow, build a home for a refugee family, sponsor a HIF student, and much more. With Ashraful Aid, you can make a real difference. Visit our website at www.ashrafulaid.org to make a donation. Make your Ramadan meaningful with Ashraful Aid.
Discover the Africa of your dreams and surround yourself with her spectacular beauty. Relax beneath her serene sunsets and explore wildlife at its natural best. It's where the pride of Africa comes together. The Kwantu Private Game Reserve. Get to know the Big Five or cruise on an elephant safari game drive. Interact with lion and tiger cubs and enjoy world-class halal cuisine while we pamper you during your 5-star stay. Indulge in the true African experience. For reservations, call now on 042-203-1400 or visit kwantu.co.za. The Kwantu Private Game Reserve, the place of gathering.
The Prophet ﷺ has said, none of you will have faith till he wishes for his brother what he likes for himself. For thousands of our ummah, wishes are simple needs that we can fulfill. Dates, bread and clean water for suhoor and iftar. Africa. Join Africa Muslims Agency's wish campaign this Ramadan to feed the fasting for 100 rands per day, provide a grocery hamper for 1,500 rands per month, and feed a village or camp for 16,000 rands per day. Fulfill the wishes of families in need across the world people this Ramadan with AMA. Call AMA now on 011 834 8685 or donate at africamuslimsagency.co.za. Africa Muslims Agency, empowering, educating, inspiring.
For a long time, we've lived in a centralized world where institutions held the all-important data and confirmed all transactions. Those times are over. Welcome to Libertas Group, a blockchain development company boasting an ecosystem that continually redefines the way we do business. Our blockchain is decentralized, making it immune to hacking or alteration, putting the power back in your hands with no middleman so you can focus on the growth of your business. Libertas, the simplest investment choice you'll make.
At Sentio, our Invest for Good philosophy is based on a genuine desire to use our investment skills for the benefit of broader society by investing responsibly, giving charitably, and developing talent that will transform the investment industry. Visit www.sentio-capital.com for more information about our Sharia investment products and start saving with us today. Sentio Capital. Invest for good. Sentio Capital Management is an authorized financial services provider.
From samosas and half moons to cook sisters and roti, everything between iftar and sehri makes sunfoil cooking oil an essential part of your Ramadan. Approved by the Heart and Stroke Foundation as part of a healthy diet, this blessed month, give your family the best with sunfoil, because tradition just tastes better.
You are listening to Salam Media live from our headquarters in South Africa. This is Salam Media, keeping you company this Ramadan.
Well, the time is just gone 20 minutes past 4, and we continue on the Iftar Drive and stay with the story with regard to the brutality that has been unleashed by this Zionist occupiers on the people of Palestine in Masjid Al-Aqsa, and absolutely no difference between this Zionist occupying force and the brutality of the Indian Hindutva RSS apparatus. Exactly the same, and what we've seen in both instances, using their festivals, using a Jewish holiday, using a Hindu festival to stir hatred, to stir and to unleash violence against Muslims, going outside mosques, chanting slogans, desecrating mosques, and this is exactly what has been taking place in Al-Aqsa as well. So there is absolutely no difference between what India is doing to the Muslims in that part of the world and the Zionist occupier doing to the Palestinians. And we're going across now to be joined by Hanif Hendricks, who is the leader of the Al-Jamaa party. They have issued a press release, and also apparently there was a picket that outside the Jewish Museum in Cape Town today. But Hanif, assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, and welcome.
Alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Thank you very much.
Yes, trust you're having a wonderful Ramadan. And yes, Masjid Al-Aqsa, and we are not surprised because year after year, Ramadan comes, Ramadan goes. This brutal Zionist occupier, absolutely no respect for the masjid, for the sanctity of Masjid Al-Aqsa. And once again, yesterday, we've seen how all this brutality was unleashed on Palestinian worshippers, Buta Khanif.
Yeah, look, that animalistic behavior is completely unacceptable in a civilized world. How would they react if Palestinians do the same thing in synagogues? They will call them barbarians and animals and savages. So that is how we must describe those people who have invaded Masjid Al-Aqsa, our second holiest mosque, and many South Africans are performing the Umrah, and they also go to visit Masjid Al-Aqsa. And we are very concerned that there may be some South Africans that are also trapped, and that they also could be lynched like Palestinians and other worshippers. So we have made a plea to South Africa to protect their citizens. Earlier on, we indicated that this will happen, and we ask for defensive weapons to be given to the resistance movement so that they can defend women and children and defend our mosques and defend our worshippers and defend South Africans that frequent Masjid Al-Aqsa, especially during the month of Ramadan. So Al-Jama'ah is also calling on those South Africans who are part of this onslaught at Masjid Al-Aqsa, that they should be severely dealt with when they return. We are sure that there are South African Zionists who are also participating in these acts of violence against innocent worshippers while they're making the Maghrib Salah, the Isha Salah, the Trawi. They are pulled out of their shops. And this year, we hear about lynching, and we are trying to get more information about this lynching because they are taking the struggle to a new level. Also, we thank the Arab world for also standing up and raising their voices. And we are aware of the fact that the resistance movement, that they are also coming to the defense of not only Palestinians, but of worshippers in Masjid Al-Aqsa who come from all over the world to visit Masjid Al-Aqsa and to pray during the Ramadan at this mosque, which is very sacred to us. Muslims must be prepared to die to protect Masjid Al-Aqsa. And we cannot allow this to continue to happen. And we are not talking about retaliation. We are asking for the Zionists and the Israeli forces and the settlers to withdraw so that we can continue enjoying, performing the worship during the month of Ramadan, especially the 10 days that are coming up very shortly. It is very important that Muslims must have a peaceful end to their Ramadan. We are worried about retaliation all over the world, and Muslims are not going to accept that Muslims from their own country and from Palestine have been severely dealt with, and Al-Jama'ah is worried that the same thing will happen in synagogues all over the world. In South Africa, we've managed to persuade Muslims and activists that mosques and churches and synagogues must be protected. So we hope that this will not happen in South Africa, but we expect this to happen in many parts of the world.
Well, Buta Hanif, what you are saying now is of major concern, because the last thing we actually need is obviously retaliation. But when you look at the Palestinians, their backs have been against the wall for far too long, and for a very, very long time. That we see every now and then, at every occasion, at every excuse the Zionist entity has, they would go and they would unleash their fury and their violence at the people of Palestine. But at the same time, we know that the Palestinian people have made it very, very clear that they are the chosen ones. They have been the chosen nation to protect Masjid Al-Aqsa. They have been given this responsibility on behalf of an entire Muslim ummah, which is 1.6 billion strong, which doesn't mean that we as a Muslim ummah should leave them on their own, and we need to provide as much support as we can. And this is the reason why even in the last 10 days of Ramadan, many people converge into Masjid Al-Aqsa to perform the itikaf, which is one thing, which is the worship and the ibadah, but also at the same time showing solidarity with the people of Palestine, supporting them, supporting the economy, because we know that the economy has suffered as well. So in more ways than one, we find all these people from right across the entire world providing the support that people of Palestine need.
I know you are quite correct, and we thank you for that progressive view. And Salam Media is in the forefront of protecting Masjid Al-Aqsa. I would like to give your listeners the assurance that we are not going to, that the resistance fighters are not going to sit back. I had a delegation of Hamas that met with me in the last few days, and they assured me that there were 60,000 armed resistance fighters that have been confined to barracks, and when they are needed, they will strategically be unleashed. We've also been informed that in Israel itself, and we don't call it Israel, it is occupied Palestine. So in occupied Palestine, which many people call Israel, there are 48 in 48 towns. The resistance fighters sit and ready when they are called upon. So Al-Jamaa won't be surprised that there will be a dramatic change in the next 6 months, and that will put an end to this Israeli aggression. And during the month of Ramadan and the last 10 days of Ramadan, we must make dua that this aggression of the Zionists must now come to an end. And I will continue in Parliament whenever I have opportunity to tell the South African government that when the liberation movement that gave us our freedoms, when they needed weapons, Palestine gave them, arranged for them to get weapons, trained them. And President Mandela has indicated that we must do everything we can to also now free Palestinians now that South Africa is free. So just like we got weapons from Palestine, and I was in Libya in 1974 when the plan was hatched to get weapons from Libya to Angola, and then the balance was offloaded in Freiburg here in South Africa. So it is only right that countries like Western Sahara and Palestine that gave us weapons, not big talk, to liberate ourselves, that now that South Africa has its freedoms, it is only right that those in government who comes from the liberation movement should leave no stone unturned to come to protection of Masjid Al-Aqsa and the worshippers. Just last week, South Africa gave 100 million to South Sudan. They also gave money to Cuba, other countries, but they do nothing for Palestine. So that's a big shame on the liberation movement, in that they find money to help other countries, but not countries that contributed militarily to our liberation. So we'll continue to make that call in Parliament, and I believe the African National Congress is very upset that Al-Jamaa is making that call. We don't care if they're upset. We will do anything to protect Masjid Al-Aqsa.
Well, Jazakallah for that, Buta Hanif, and yes, noble, sincere intentions indeed. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accept, Allah reward your efforts as well, and for continuing to highlight the problem of the people of Palestine, but more importantly, for demanding that the necessary action needs to be taken. But for now, we wish you all the best, and also for the month of Ramadan. Please take care. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Well, that brings us on to 4:33. That was Hanif Hendrik, the leader of the Al-Jamaa party. They issued a press release on the developments that have been unfolding in Masjid Al-Aqsa, and calling on the South African government not to only pay lip service to the question of Palestine to do something a lot more. And this is exactly what Palestinian solidarity organizations in this country have been telling this government as well, that you've been paying lip service for far too long. You need to do something. You need to do something concrete. We need to see action. And with that, we're going to go for the Asr Azan and the Asr Salah. We'll be back in about 10 minutes time. We still have got a lot more to unpack right here on the Iftar Drive on this day, Ramadan, 13th of Ramadan.